This is my recipe for Poblano and Huitlacoche Quiche. Here's my ingredient list and instructions. This recipe will make one normal-sized pie crust quiche and a small quiche. For the crust, you will need to roll out 2 pie crusts, one large and one small, and then poke holes in the crust with the fork for airflow and pre-bake each of the crusts at 375 degrees for 12 minutes. Then let them cool and set them aside while you make the filling. For your crusts, you need 2 cups of flour, 1 stick of butter, 1 pinch of salt, 1 egg, and 1/4 cup of milk. For your filling, you're going to have 2 parts, the vegetable and the spices, which need to be sautéed until tender and then set aside for the wet ingredients. And the wet ingredients will be whipped together, and then the cooked vegetables can be mixed in before pouring all of it into the pie crust. For the vegetable and spice mixture that you will cook, you will need 3 to 4 cups of Huitlacoche, cleaned and roughly chopped, 1 pinch of nutmeg, 1½ Poblano, 1½ cups of Poblano pepper. Those peppers need to be scorched, sweated, peeled, seeded, deveined, and diced. 1 clove of garlic, either pressed or finely chopped. All of those ingredients are then sautéed in oil until they are soft and the vegetables are all tender. And then they can be set aside and cooled, and they will eventually be put into the wet ingredients. For the wet ingredients, you need 6 eggs, 12 ounces of Mexican table cream, or 12 ounces of heavy whipping cream, salt and pepper to taste, and 2 cups of white melty cheese. I'm using Chihuahua, but you can use Oaxaca, Manchego, Monterey Jack, or mozzarella. And finally, you need to preheat your oven to 375 degrees, grease and flour 2 pie crusts, a large and a small one, and then pour in your filling, your pre-mixed filling, sprinkle the top with Parmesan cheese, and then bake them for 35 minutes until they're firm and a toothpick comes out clean. Make sure you cool your quiche for 15 minutes before you cut and serve it. Thank you for cooking with the Gomez. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do my peppers. And what you want to do with this poblano, you want to take the skin off. You've seen me do this in my other video where I did poblanos, ribbons, and cream, rajas con crema. If you haven't checked out that video, you should. I'm doing another play on poblano and corn today, except I am making a quiche, and it's going to have corn smut. Corn smut is just corn that has been mushroomized. It's got mushrooms growing on it, right? So, what could go better in a quiche than mushroom corn? And this poblano is going to give it some amazing flavor. So you do need to put the work in and char your pepper and take the skin off very diligently so that you can prep all of the vegetables that are going into your quiche. I'll get all of these done and then I'll show you what they look like. Oh yeah. Oh yes, perfect. Beautiful. So these crusts are nice and golden. Just came out and they're ready for the quiche. Alrighty, so now I'm going to cook my vegetables for my quiche, and I've got some oil going here in the pan. I'm going to put in my garlic and my onion first. And then right away I'm going to throw in my huitlacoche once that garlic has had a chance to infuse into the oil, so that we are coating the oil. Then I'll go ahead and take my huitlacoche. Here's all my huitlacoche that I cleaned. This is corn smut for the uninformed. It is a Mexican delicacy. It is a Mexican mushroom that grows on corn, and it's been cultivated for thousands of years. Here in the US, you can only get it if you find it. I found it. So, or if you grow it. So, we're very lucky to be able to have this amazing huitlacoche, which is going to go in our quiche. This is just going to taste like corn. That's the beauty of it. So I will let this cook down some more, and then I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. Alright, so this has been cooking for a while. You can see my onions are translucent, and my huitlacoche has cooked it down significantly. I'm going to go ahead and add my poblanos now. And put some pepper in here, and we have to add a little bit of nutmeg. This is a little pinch of nutmeg. You don't need a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and add this now. And our vegetables are going to be ready to go into our filling in just a moment. Alright, now I'm going to make my filling for the quiche. I have 2 quiches. My crust gave me enough for a big quiche and a little quiche, so I'm going to go ahead and do 6 eggs. You want to break the eggs into your bowl. Whoops. And looks like I got a shell in here. Here's a nice trick if you ever get a shell in your eggs, you can take it out with another shell. And then we whip them. Now we're whisking. All right. Next part, we will be adding table cream. Now this is Mexican table cream. It's not sour cream, it's table cream. If you don't have Mexican table cream, you can use heavy cream instead, but you don't want to use sour cream for this. So take your pick, and it calls for, the recipe calls with just 4 eggs, calls for about 8 ounces of sour cream. I'm just going to This is a 15-ounce bottle. I'm going to just take the rest of what's in here, which is about 10 to 12 ounces of sour cream, or it's not sour cream, excuse me, table cream, and add it to my eggs. I'm going to get all of it in here. And now we mix in the sour cream like this. Get it completely incorporated into your egg. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my cheese to this. And I'm using Chihuahua cheese, the melty cheese. This is the cheese that's going to go inside the quiche. Generous amount of cheese. I like mine to be extra cheesy. Give that a good mix. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in all of my Huitlacoche and poblano peppers and onions and spices. Everything is going into this. And I'm going to pour these into the quiche, and then they're going to go right into the oven. So stick around here and I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. First, I'm going to stir this in. And I'm going to get my pie shell, my pie crust, my quiche crust, so I can begin pouring these into my quiche crust. I've got that very well incorporated. Bring in the quiche, and remember, these crusts are pre-cooked, so we're going to put that in. How nice that looks. And I have another little tiny quiche here. So I'm going to fill my second quiche as well. This is great for a brunch or a lunch or a dinner. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be amazing. And then finally, on the top, you're just going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese before it goes into the oven. Sprinkle your Parmesan on top. And these are ready to go into the oven. And now it's time to go into the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. In they go. Time to check the quiche. Ooh, that looks gorgeous. Just check it the way you would with the cake. Pull out a toothpick. It's clean. Both of our quiches came out clean, so it's time to take them out of the oven. They smell amazing. Here they come. Parmesan crust on that. Gorgeous. Here's our second quiche. Now you don't want to cut them when they're cold. You need to let them sit for about 15 minutes, and that will settle the quiche, and then we can cut it and taste it. Here are my finished quiches, and I'm going to plate some up and have my son taste test them in just a moment. So let me cut into my crust, which is flaky, and I'm cutting my quiche now. It's been cooling for about 15 minutes. And we'll grab a fork that will help us eat and taste test this delicious quiche. Take a look at that. Nice flaky crust. Looks super creamy and yummy. I'm gonna have to take a bite of this. Let's try it real quick. Okay, hold on. Alrighty. You are in for quite a taste sensation, my friends.
Ooh.
I know it's hot, but okay, finally cooled down enough for you to chew it.
Yes, very creamy. Crust is very flaky and nice.
Poblano peppers and the Huitlacoche
Yeah.
mushrooms.
Crazy. Yes, very nice.